Hey folks, welcome to PlayBranson, the show where you get to know Branson's entertainers better. My name is Chris Meyer. I'm going to be your host for today's show. And today's show is brought to you by iBranson.com, where you can find lots of information about Branson shows and attractions, lodging. Of course, if you're looking for the latest show schedules, go to iBranson.com. Did you know that the new PlayBranson episodes drop on Monday and air each night at 8 p.m. on the Vacation Channel? You can also find us on social media on the Vacation Channel or our website, PlayBranson.com. Our guest this week is Maggie Cyr, and she's with a show called Thank You for the Music, an ABBA tribute. I think you're going to really like this episode. First time I've interviewed her. I also wanted to let you guys know that we have, once again, our new PlayBranson magazine out in Branson. You can find it at over 100 locations around town. It's in racks, and guess what? It's free. It's a great way to learn about everything going on in the Branson area, so be sure to pick up your copy today. We'll be right back with more PlayBranson.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to PlayBranson. And on today's show, I think for the first time ever, we have Maggie Cyr. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
And so you are brand new this year over at the Hamner Variety Theater, and you're in a couple shows over there.
Yeah.
Tell us the shows that you're in.
I do Thank You for the Music, a modern tribute to ABBA, and I'm also in Beach Boys, California Dreamin'.
Okay, and we're going to talk more about those shows in the second segment. But Maggie, we want to get to know you better and kind of your history in the entertainment business.
All right, well, I was born and raised in St. Mary's, Georgia. Lived out most of my childhood years there doing church, choir, community theater. I think really my aha theater moment was when I was like 11 years old. I was cast in a community theater production of Annie.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was like, man, this is so fun. I love it. This is what I want to do. My dad had a job change, and we ended up moving to Pensacola, Florida, where I fell more in love with musical theater. I did children's chorus. I did more community theater. Ended up going to school in Jacksonville, Florida, where I met my now husband, Lucas. We went for musical theater. Also sang some opera while I was there. Moved up to Branson to be with my husband. He graduated a couple of years before I was out of there, and started working at Sight and Sound. And he was there in, I think, 2012. And I was up in Branson by 2013, 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hold on just a second, because I got to ask you some questions, because you went through a lot of stuff really quickly. So you're like growing up, you love theater.
Yes.
And so did you say at a young age, I want this to be my life. I want to make this my career?
Yes. Yeah, there was like no other option. And I don't think I realized like I could have another career. I think I always was just like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. I didn't realize quite how hard it was going to be, or that, a lot of people, end up doing other things. I was like, nope, this is it. This is what I want to do. And praise God, like this is how we get to make our living. So
because here's what I say, not very many people can get to make their living by performing.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of people obviously in Branson that do
Yes.
that. But across the country, there's very few, I think, that do.
Yeah, and I think that's why Branson is so special, is because we are able to have that. And we are able to make our life here. And we have a daughter. We're able to raise our daughter here. And there's consistency, and it's a beautiful place to be, and we love it. Yeah.
So you went to college. Your husband now came to Branson. At that point, did you know anything about Branson?
So when I was in the 5th grade, we did a school play called Christmas in Branson.
Really? Who knew?
And I remember our school teacher, Miss Amanda Rector, pointing to Branson on a map of Missouri and being like, this is Branson, and they've got country music and lots of shows. And we had this whole production about like, I feel like there was like little elves that come to Branson and like help Santa Claus. I don't fully remember
That's
it.
wild.
Yeah.
That's
but
wild.
I played Dolly Holiday. So
There you go. There you go. So you graduate from college and you're like, I'm coming to Branson?
yeah.
Okay. And so tell us kind of what happened after that.
So I moved up to Branson 2014, kind of hit the ground running, auditioning around, and went to King's Castle Theater. And it was actually their first year. They were going to start doing Dublin's Irish Tenors and the Celtic Ladies, and they were looking for Celtic ladies. And particularly legit opera singers. And luckily I had that in my back pocket at the time, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, you know, because I had all my little, I had some country songs prepared, I had some musical theater songs prepared, and I also had, you know, just a couple of opera arias, and luckily I was in the right place at the right time. The people over there were lovely, and I ended up being one of the Celtic ladies for several years,
Okay.
Yeah.
And then did you go to Sight and Sound after that?
Yes, I eventually, my husband and I, like, we really wanted to see each other and spend time together. And I think one of our dreams was always to work together. And so, you know, God was good, and I ended up, you know, getting my foot in the door over there at Sight and Sound. Worked there in 2019 for NOAA. And then 2020 came around. Nope. I worked there in 2020 for NOAA, and then the world was over for a few months, and we came back, finished up NOAA, and then 2021, Jesus, and then I got pregnant. So I took a break from performing, obviously, for a little bit, and then got a call from Jackie Bell over at King's Castle. They needed a soprano again for a little bit, and so I did a couple of Celtics with a 4-month-old at home. Sometimes she was at the theater with us, and got my feet wet again.
Yeah. So that's some of the challenges of being an entertainer and having a baby. It's like, how do you make all that work? But people do.
Oh, people do, but it is not for the weak of heart. It is. Yeah, it's been a challenge for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so then this year, now you're over at the Hamner.
Yes. Yeah. So I've always been friends with. It's crazy what a small world theater is. And particularly towns like Myrtle Beach, Branson, Pigeon Forge. And so my husband had actually worked in Pigeon Forge in a show called The Miracle, where he met Stephen Odom, who was also there. So that was kind of a connection before even Branson. And we've just always known the Odoms, always kind of wanted to work with them, never really had the chance. And just kind of popped up last year. They were looking for someone, and they kind of reached out to me like, hey, what would you think about coming over here and doing these shows with us? And, you know, here's all this information, and here's some videos, and I was like, no, yes, absolutely.
Because you're going from probably doing a segment in a show now to really doing a whole show.
Yes.
Which is a big difference, I'm guessing.
And there's only 4 people on stage the whole time. So from going from King's Castle, where there was a wonderful cast of dancers, Sight and Sound, where there's like 50 people on stage the whole show, you know, and to where it's 4 of us, and that's it, you know. That was a huge thing for me. Yeah. Getting used to that.
So now you had to learn a bunch of new songs.
Yes.
And ABBA songs, and then you're also in the Beach Boys. So I think actually here's a great spot for us to stop, and we're going to talk more about these shows in just a minute. So hang tight. We'll be right back. Hey folks, welcome back to PlayBranson, and we are talking with Maggie Cyr with Thank You for the Music, an ABBA tribute. And so tell us about this show. If maybe we've probably got people watching that have never seen it, so tell us about it.
It is fun. It is so upbeat. We really don't stop for 2 hours. There's 4 people on stage pretty much the whole show singing ABBA music, and really, who doesn't love ABBA music?
Yes.
And if you're an ABBA fan, you're going to love it. If you're not an ABBA fan, you're probably still going to love it.
So if you're not an ABBA fan, the question would be is, like, why? Like, because they are, and I did a little bit of research here, they are one of the best-selling musical artists in history.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize this, but over 200 million albums sold worldwide. And they were ranked the 3rd best-selling single artist in the United Kingdom. In fact, in 2023, you may not even know this, the UK, they had over 1 billion streams so far in the UK.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's ABBA. But I think part of the whole sensation of ABBA is their Mamma Mia movies. They had the first one come out, and then all of a sudden ABBA was just huge again. Which, when was it? Never really a huge deal, but the first movie came out, the second movie came out, and they're working on a 3rd movie. And so lots of our people who are coming to see our shows, maybe they're not necessarily like ABBA fans, but they've seen the movies and they love the movies. They love Meryl Streep, and or they're like, kids who just, maybe their high school did a production of Mamma Mia, and I'm always surprised, I'm always blown away by the kids that are at the show. Like, there's literally, like, we had a 4-year-old, maybe 4 or 5 years old the other day, who knew all the songs we were singing, like singing loudly, like over our microphones, over the monitors in our faces. We could hear this child sitting 2 rows back, screaming ABBA music and just living her best life. Yeah.
So they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010. But what's interesting, and they went from 74 to 82, and then literally, based on my research, they took they didn't do anything for 40 years.
Yeah.
So that just tells you how timeless the music
is.
Really.
Yeah, for sure. They weren't even together for 10 full years. I don't think people realize they weren't even together that long, and we have this huge catalog of hits from ABBA, and they actually took a 40-year hiatus, and in 2021 came back with their album Voyage, which we do some songs from that as well in our show. So we've even had a couple of fans that are like, thank you so much for including their new stuff as well.
Yeah. And I probably don't know their new stuff as well as
well,
their
I
old
didn't
stuff.
until I was in the show, so yeah.
So how many songs do you think you do in the show? Any idea?
Oh man, it's literally, when I say we might spend 15 minutes of even backstage the whole show, including intermission. I would say at least 35 songs.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And so you guys are also, correct me if I'm wrong, but some of it's choreographed?
It is all choreographed. If I'm standing still, I'm saying a little prayer of thanksgiving because that's when we get to rest. But yeah, it's nonstop. We dance a lot more than ABBA actually did. So it's full on. It's a modern tribute to ABBA. So our songs, the mixes that we have are a little bit more modern sounding. Our costumes, while we pay tribute kind of with the sequins and some of the outlandishness, we have some feathers that we kind of wear that are a little crazy, but it's still kind of pushing that modern tribute to ABBA. So we're not trying to pretend to be ABBA. We're not Benny, Bjorn, Agneta, and Annie Fried. We are Stephen, James, Chelsea, and Maggie. And we get up on that stage, and for 2 hours, we will entertain you nonstop.
There you go.
Yeah.
So, folks, this is going to be not a boring show if you can tell. Just by Maggie here, it will not be boring.
Yeah.
But you're also in another show there as well, and it's a Beach Boys show.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that while you're here.
So we will take you through the hits of the Beach Boys. We start out, we go through the surf craze, we go through the hot rod phase, we even pull from some of their later stuff, like obviously Kokomo, like who doesn't love Kokomo? But we also throw in, because huge point, there are girls in the Beach Boys show. It's not just 4 guys, again, pretending to be the Beach Boys. It is the same 4 people that you will see in the ABBA show. And so we also do maybe a couple of girl numbers. We do some Brenda Lee. We do a little bit of Tina Turner. The guys do, I think they do an Everly Brothers song, just kind of staying true to the time. And also we do some Mamas and the Papas, kind of break out the later, edgier, folkier 60s.
But, you know, Beach Boys music, though, is pretty timeless as well. I mean, like, who doesn't like the Beach Boys?
I don't think there's a bad Beach Boys song,
Yeah, and so the Beach Boys actually, folks, if you, from a historical standpoint, have been in Branson in the past
Yes,
and have
they
performed.
sure have.
I think I saw them at what was then the old Ray Stevens Theater many years ago. They came to town, but that's been a while.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell people where you're located.
Okay, so we are on Shepherd of the Hills. We are
Expressway.
Expressway.
Not at the theme. Not at the amusement park.
Yeah, Shepherd of the Hills Expressway. We are right across from, I believe, like Pierce Arrow and kind of the Promised Land Zoo area. We're on the other side of the street. Yeah.
Yep.
At Hamner's Variety Theater.
And show times for Thank You for the Music. I am showing Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. and then Fridays at 2 p.m.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so folks, that's a little bit of a different time, which is pretty cool because you can go to that show and literally after that go to another show.
Yes,
if you want. So there's not a lot of 5 o'clock time slots.
Yeah.
So
or you can go home and put your babies to bed.
There you go. There you go. And so that Friday's then at 2 p.m. So which is a different time. So 3 times, and then I don't know what the Beach Boys are. Do you have any idea when those shows are?
So the Beach Boys, that one's really easy because it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all at 10 o'clock in the morning.
So you can get pumped up in the morning and get the surf vibe going. And so, folks, this is over at the Hamner Variety Theater. There's lots of other shows at the Hamner Variety Theater. And let's go ahead and plug those while you're here.
Okay, so we have Mike Walker, who is a extremely talented impressionist, also was a country music singer back in the 90s. Extremely nice guy, extremely talented guy. We also have, Back to the Bee Gees, which is Stephen Odom and James Allen, who are in Beach Boys and ABBA. They created their own show 3 years ago. It is a fabulous tribute to the Bee Gees, and it also has some tidbits of information in there, like maybe songs you didn't know that they wrote for other artists. They have, some special effects, and they will take you through the Bee Gees catalog, and it's another disco party. So.
Yep, and then we have the Hamner's Variety Show.
Oh my gosh, which is, that's just like a Branson staple. If you haven't seen the Hamner's Variety Show, you're missing out. Yep. You need to go see. They have these beautiful macaws. I see them when I walk into work, and they are just the most gorgeous birds. They fly above your head. That's another nonstop show. You're going to see beautiful, incredible illusions. You're also going to see talented singers. You're going to see aerialists. Brittany's an incredible aerialist.
Which we had her on the show just a while back. So check that out. Yeah, so lots going on. Over there at the Hamner Variety Theater. Folks, we're going to be back in just a second to wrap the show up.
There are so many things to do in Branson. You need help planning and booking all your fun. You need iBranson.com. You can find everything Branson has to offer from your computer, tablet, or cell phone. You can even buy tickets online or talk to one of their friendly Branson travel specialists. There's no sales pitches, no delivery fees, no service fees, and no waiting. It's fast and easy. Find your fun at iBranson.com. Do it all online or call 877-ENTERTAIN. That's 877-368-3782. iBranson.com.
Hey folks, welcome back to PlayBranson. We're wrapping the show up today. We want to thank you for watching. Our guest this week was Maggie Cyr from Thank You for the Music, an ABBA tribute.
Yes.
And over at the Hamner Variety Theater. Tell people where you're located once again.
We are at Hamner's Variety Theater on Shepherd of the Hills Expressway. I believe there's also a website if you want to look us up there, and we'd love to have you.
Folks, the show schedule is Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. and then Fridays at 2 p.m. And she also told you about the Beach Boys schedule. So that's it for today. Next week's artist is Earl Vaughn with the Sons of Britches. And he's a crazy guy. It's been about 4 years since I've talked to him. And so I'm looking forward to having him back on the show to talk about the Sons of Britches. I am not cussing, by the way. Be sure to look us up on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube. You can find all of our episodes at PlayBranson.com as well. And if you have a performer you would like to see on the show, let us know. Send us a message, and we're always looking for new guests to have on the show. We love your feedback, and we'll do our best to get them on a future episode. Here's the deal. When you need help planning your next Branson vacation, be sure to go to ibranson.com. You can book your shows, your attractions, and lodging all right on ibranson.com, or you can call them at 1-877-ENTERTAIN. Local people here to help take care of you. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'll see you next time on Play Branson.